making sure kids get a good and nutritious meal when they're not at school. Tonight, West Michigan is gearing up to help families in need.
Right now, you're looking at Storm Tracker. Monday showers. We'll see some sun late in the day, but a cool week ahead. I'll have the details coming up.
Plus, fearing the worst as police continue to investigate a possible serial killer. One family is holding on to hope.
Live, local, breaking news. You're watching News Channel 3, live at 11.
Summer doesn't have to mean hunger for families in need. West Michigan schools are getting ready for their annual Meet Up and Eat Up program. News Channel 3's Genevieve Grippo joins us live in the newsroom with how the program is keeping Michigan's kids fed. Genevieve.
Well, Meet Up and Eat Up means that any child in the state can eat for free 3 times a day during the summer. All they have to do is show up with an appetite.
There's a lot of milk. There's a ton of milk.
Nutritious meals that couldn't be cheaper.
I mean, this could be the difference buying food for your kids, buying medicine, or rent.
Free food for Michigan's children all across the state all summer long. Throughout the next 3 months, staff will deliver fresh food to pre-designated meal sites at scheduled times. This is especially important for families whose kids are normally fed for free at school twice a day.
The children are very appreciative. They're very happy to see us.
Laura Montague is the food service director at Lakeview School District. She says aside from financial help, Meet Up and Eat Up also ensures that kids are getting healthy meals to fuel their summers.
This is a balanced meal. We follow the same school meal programs. They're getting their whole grains, their fruits, their vegetables, milk.
Montague's team of about 20 people covers the program for all of Battle Creek. They serve about 2,500 meals to kids each day in just their area alone.
It's a lot of work.
Despite that massive task, Montague says they want to serve more kids. They're using technology to make it happen.
So this is one of the map locators.
The Michigan Department of Education has an interactive map displaying when and where meals will be held. If you're looking for something right away, just pull out your phone and text Meet Up and Eat Up to 877-877.
They send a reply with all of the sites that are currently open close to me.
Montague and her team are starting the Meet Up and Eat Up program in Battle Creek tomorrow. The program starts in Kalamazoo on June 24th. Reporting live in the newsroom, Genevieve Grippo, News Channel 3.
Here's a live look over downtown at Kalamazoo. It was a humid, wet day throughout West Michigan. Chief Meteorologist Keith Thompson joins us now live in Severe Weather Center 3. He's got a look at your forecast for the week, rainy and chilly.
Oh, yeah, you know what? Those are two themes we're going to be dealing a lot with, Callie, so especially overnight tonight and for the morning commute tomorrow. Let's take a live look right now on Phoenix Street, downtown South Haven live. And you can see the rain coming down on the pavement there. It has been a soggy day in South Haven across much of West Michigan. Check out the showers right now, even in Kalamazoo and Allegan and Holland and south to Three Rivers and Sturgis. You're starting to see a few sprinkles as well. Let's put this into motion here, and you can see these showers continue to move up to the northeast. The showers that right now are around Dowagiac and Niles, they're headed your way. Decatur coming up in about 15 minutes, and they'll be marching into Kalamazoo at Portage round about the top of the hour or so. There's more where that came from. There's still rain in Indiana. We're going to see that overnight. Temperatures in the meantime are in the upper 60s to around 70, so it's still very mild out there. Our temps will be in the mid-60s all night long with those showers continuing, but it's getting cooler tomorrow, and cool will be a theme for the week to come. I'll have the 7-day coming up. Callie?
All right, thanks, Keith. We'll be sure to stay on track of the weather no matter where you are. You can download the News Channel 3 weather app. Find it for free on your device's app store. We have an update tonight on a crash involving an Amish horse-drawn carriage. The Branch County Sheriff's Office confirms a third child is dead. The 4-year-old died in the hospital as a result of the crash. Officials say 21-year-old Tyler Fry rear-ended the buggy on Friday. Prosecutors are charging him with 3 counts of operating while under the influence, causing death, among other charges. An investigation is now underway in Calhoun County. This comes after a deadly motorcycle crash last night. The single vehicle crash happened just after 7 o'clock. It was in Eckford Township. Officials say a 54-year-old man from Homer was pronounced dead on the scene. Authorities say alcohol and speed both appear to be likely factors. A Michigan family is searching for answers about their missing loved one, wondering if she's another victim of a potential serial killer in Detroit. Right now, D'Angelo Martin is in police custody. He's a person of interest in the investigation. Last August, Deborah Reynolds was reported missing. Her family learned she had a run-in with police a month later. Her and Martin were detained, then released. That was the last time someone saw her alive.
You gonna let a woman alone out here on the streets with a total stranger? We want to know why.
The whole family been terrified. I would like to, I'm not as hopeful as everyone else, because if this is really the guy that done did all this here, it's kind of hard to say.
Investigators say Martin is homeless, spending most of his time on Detroit's east side. That's where a potential serial killer is targeting sex workers. Several businesses were left without power today after a crash in Kalamazoo. It happened earlier near the corner of Westnedge Avenue and Whites Road. The crash damaged a power line, knocking out the power of less than 20 customers. That's according to the consumer's outage map. Officials on scene say there were no major injuries in the crash. A Michigan deputy is running across the state to honor fallen officers. Kent County Deputy Reserve Matt Garbarino ran through Kalamazoo today. That's part of his 170-mile run across Michigan. He's raising money for the families of fallen officers.
The charity that I aligned with is called My Cops. It's the Michigan Concerns of Police Survivors, and their mission is basically to help surviving families provide resources to those families. It's not all financial resources. It could be counseling resources, networking resources, camps for kids where they can meet other kids who lost a parent.
Garbarino says he's inspired by those who gave their lives in the line of duty. He hopes his run reminds people of the sacrifice officers make every day.
Those people that are in that line of work, they have a very unique situation where they go out and do their job. They don't know if they're coming home at night. And it's a very different type of situation than like my full-time job. I'm a marketing director. You know, I know I'm coming home at night. You know, I mean, I don't have that kind of a thing. So when I work part-time as a reserve deputy, I get a glimpse of that life. And I think just showing the appreciation, and it's okay to say thank you.
He plans on finishing his 4-day run tomorrow in St. Joseph and Benton Harbor. People are keeping history alive in Kalamazoo. They're replacing the grave marker of a Revolutionary War hero. People made their way to Mountain Home Cemetery to remember Ezekiel Ransom. Ransom spent most of his life in Vermont before following his children to West Michigan at the age of 72. He played a role in founding Second Baptist Church and Kalamazoo College.
Ezekiel Ransom did not start out as a special person. He became a special person just because of what he did. And we all have that potential too. We all have the potential to make our community a better place.
Today's ceremony was put on by the Daughters of the American Revolution. A late Western Michigan University alum received a special Tony Award earlier tonight. 3-time Tony nominee Maren Mazey honored for her outstanding contributions. Jay Burko is the WMU Director of Music Theater Performance. He says Mazey was one of the first to welcome him in 2004. He says Mazey deserves all the honors she's received.
She wanted to be part of the department, and she wanted to encourage students to grow and to join the professional business and continue to be an example of what it is to be a professional actor coming out of Western.
Burko says Mazey's legacy will live on in West Michigan. For the full story, head to our website, wwmt.com. From Kalamazoo to Hollywood and Washington, D.C., it's been a busy weekend as folks across the country celebrate the LGBT community. It comes after weeks of attacks. Plus extreme heat helping the spread of wildfires. Tonight we have the very latest as crews continue to put out flames in California.
He's a local Special Olympian.
Millions are celebrating Pride Month. In Los Angeles today, members of the city's LGBTQ community took to the streets for the 31st annual parade. In the nation's capital, there was panic and injuries. Meg Oliver reports.
A false alarm at the Pride Parade sparked panic in the nation's capital Saturday.
It looked like a movie scene. It was really scary.
It's still not clear what people actually heard. Police reported no evidence of gunfire, but a 38-year-old suspect was taken into custody and is facing a gun possession charge. The scare comes in the wake of several violent incidents as a month of LGBTQ pride events kick off around the world. In London, 28-year-old Melania Hamonet and her 29-year-old American partner Chris are recovering after 5 teenagers beat them after they refused to kiss on a public bus.
They took my phone, her bag, and they ran off the bus.
Last month, 23-year-old Malaysia Booker, a transgender woman, was found shot to death in her Dallas neighborhood. Police believe her case may be linked to 2 other attacks on transgender people. And last week in suburban Atlanta, 28-year-old Ronald Trey Peters was shot and killed while walking to a train station. Witnesses say 2 men yelled anti-gay slurs, shot him, and then drove off in a maroon pickup truck.
It's an entire community that feels affected and impacted by this, wondering if we will be targeted next.
It just makes me more resolute to be able to speak out and to let everybody know that it's actually okay, particularly young people, that it's actually okay to be gay.
These attacks come on the 50th anniversary of the police raid at the Stonewall Inn here in New York City.
That raid led to the birth of the modern LGBTQ movement, but the Human Rights Campaign says that 50 years later, this community is still at greater risk of sexual and violent assaults. Meg Oliver, CBS News, New York.
You can find our coverage of Pride events right here in West Michigan on our website, wwmt.com. Extreme weather is now impacting wildfire season. Still ahead, the latest as fires spark evacuations at a popular theme park.
It's the summer sales event at your...
The wildfire season is upon the west. A second fire broke out in Arizona's Tonto National Forest. In California, the Sand Fire near Sacramento sparked evacuations.
Fires across California. On a packed Sunday, Six Flags Magic Mountain near Los Angeles evacuated due to a brush fire nearby. In Northern California, the Sand Fire scorched at least 1,800 acres, fueled by gusting winds and searing heat. Mandatory evacuations ordered for more than 100 homes northwest of Sacramento.
I'm racing home, and I see the smoke.
Allegra Lopez lives a mile and a half away.
I think about Paradise last year, and so I'm packing.
In an area with few roads, some have been forced to leave belongings and livestock behind.
I don't know about my horses. Last anyone saw them, they were running down the driveway.
In Arizona, a second fire has erupted in an already burning Tonto National Forest, this one west of Phoenix.
And as we hit those triple-digit temperatures, it just makes it more susceptible for that one spark to catch that dry grass on fire and move as quickly as we've seen these fires move.
Both fires in the state are charring thousands of acres of wilderness and hiking trails. No homes are threatened.
As many as 20,000 people in Northern California were without power during mandatory blackouts as the utility PG&E turned off power as a precaution. An excessive heat watch is in effect through Tuesday. Janet Shamlian, CBS News, Los Angeles.
A fight to renew the 9/11 Victims Compensation Fund. Firefighters in New York held a rally today. The fund was created to help Ground Zero workers and volunteers. It's for those who developed health issues, and in February, officials announced the fund was running out of money. Victims and survivors are seeing big cuts.
The doctors, all the experts thought that would be more than enough money to get us through. They didn't realize all these dormant cancers that are lying there. People are getting these late developing illnesses, all directly traceable to 9/11.
State officials say there are now 95,000 responders and survivors living with health issues directly related to the September 11th attacks. American Airlines says they're canceling more flights, 115 flights per day through September 3rd. The entire Boeing 737 MAX fleet is grounded. That's after a software issue caused 2 fatal crashes, killing 346 people. Boeing says it's been fixed. Federal agencies still need to sign off on it.
It's been a soggy Sunday for us here in West Michigan, and rain continues to be the leading story. In our 3 big stories, showers overnight, a wet morning commute for you tomorrow, late day clearing though. I think we'll see some sun tomorrow, but it's going to come late in the day. And in the meantime, it's going to be windy and cool week ahead. Wait till you see the 7-day. We're talking about temperatures all week long that will be running 10 to 15 degrees cooler than average. First, how about your road conditions as we go back to work and school? And for the school kids, many of them, the last Monday. Overnight, wet morning commute, wet afternoon and the evening commute. I think our roads will be drying out. Hello to you, Marshall. Right now, we're looking right at the iconic fountain there in downtown, and you can see the pavement here looks to be dry. That's because it's been a little while since you've had some rain in Marshall, but that's not the case. Places like South Haven, even in Kalamazoo right now, Well, it's close to you, Marshall, there in Battle Creek, seeing some showers. Showers in Sturgis and Three Rivers, right up the lakeshore to Holland and inland to Allegan and Hastings and Grand Rapids, even seeing a few sprinkles. We put this into motion, and you see these showers sort of moving in from the north. From the south, I should say, and there's more where that came from. We're going to zoom in close to show you. And this is part of an area of low pressure off to the south. Fortunately, we're not seeing the thunderstorms. Those continue to be well off to the south, but we are going to see more of this rain moving in. And by the way, this is a cold front that's pushing through. Once that gets through, which is going to be tomorrow afternoon, behind that, not only will we see drier air, but also some cooler temperatures. Let's take another live look right now. We showed you Marshall a few moments ago, which was dry. Kalamazoo is wet. We look live from our Peregrine Tower cam right downtown, and you can sort of see that moisture in the air. The temperature right now in Kalamazoo at 68. Marshall, we visited you at 67. Still low 70s in Three Rivers and Sturgis. In fact, everybody tucked in a pretty narrow range here, mid-70s, or mid-60s rather, to low 70s. And by the way, I was checking in on those dew points, and they're in the mid-60s, and so it does feel awfully muggy and sticky out there, even though it's not really hot. Hour by hour we go. Pick up the showers here at the current time. Let's run this overnight. We stop at 3 in the morning, still seeing some showers. We run till tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock, still seeing some showers, especially Kalamazoo and Battle Creek, Three Rivers, Sturgis, and Hastings. And the roads are going to be wet tomorrow morning for the commute. But by noontime, we start to see the rain moving out. This is why I said I think the roads will be dry in the afternoon and for the evening commute. Not only I think will the roads be dry, but our skies will be clearing, and a northwest wind coming in will help to cool us off, and it's going to keep those temperatures cool tomorrow night. In fact, this week is going to be rather chilly. Showers and a few thunderstorms, getting cooler. 58 for your low tomorrow. That high around 66. Cloudy skies, morning showers, then some late afternoon sun. Breezy, by the way. It's going to be windy tomorrow at times, and cooler too. Speaking of cooler, your Maple Hill Auto Group 7-day. Our average high temperature for the week to come is 80. We're going to be nowhere near it. In fact, I think 4 of the next 7 days, highs will only be in the 60s. And we have 3 mornings where those lows are going to be in the 40s. So this is certainly something that's going to get everybody's attention. I'm telling you, by the end of the week to come, everybody's going to be buzzing about just how cool it is. You thought you could put that sweater away since we're in the middle of June, but not so fast.
Sweater, I think I'm going to be digging out my winter coat. 40s?
You might feel like it. It's going to be awfully cool out there.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Keith. Well, the Growlers hosting Traverse City this afternoon. Why baseball was hardly the most important event at the ballpark.
Hi, everybody. As studies continue to show how big a beer city Kalamazoo is, its so aptly named baseball team of Growlers hosted another team perfectly named for its city. The Traverse City Pit Spitters officially making their Homer Striker Field debut as the Growlers back home for the first of 2. But baseball, not the most important thing today. That is Joe and Amanda Engel, who were involved in a serious motorcycle accident last April. The pair battling back from life-threatening injuries with help from the team at Bronson, and honored today as part of Home Run for Life. As for baseball, Adam Wheaton, the Hackett product, coming off a great start. Chase Andrews ruining the day in the 2nd inning in a hurry. That ball tattooed over the left field wall. It's a 2-run shot. Pit Spitters up a pair. Porter finding solace with happy fans who happen to be married to me. I'll check on that. Anyway, later, Wheaton settles down. That's later in the inning. Daniel Head swinging 6 2/3. 5 runs allowed, though, and his offense just never could get going. Bottom 5, Drew Blakely. There's a base hit. Former Gull Lake star with 2 hits on the day, but the Growlers only get 2 more as a team. Traverse City wins game 1, 7-zip. As for the Bombers, Battle Creek going past Kenosha. 9-2 the final against the Kingfish. Jack Merrifield, a homer in the win. Series wraps up tomorrow night. Michigan, a win away from the College World Series, and now outs away. Decisive game 3 with UCLA. It's 3-2 Wolverines. Former Portage Northern Husky Tommy Henry throwing for the Mason Blue and throwing well. Look for coverage on that one tomorrow. Tigers and Twins series finale from downtown Detroit. There's Nelson Cruz. Doesn't matter what jersey he's wearing. If there's an Old English D on the opponent, he's going to hit a homer. Top 1, see ya. Cruz, a towering fly ball to left off of Ryan Carpenter. Kristen Stewart's can just watch it go. It's a 2-run shot. 3-0 Twins after 1, and they didn't stop. Top 4, it's 3-1, make it 4. Miguel Sano, you hit a home run over the out-of-town scoreboard. Go ahead and take your time. number 6 for Sano. It escalated from there. Bottom 6, it's 11-1. Brandon Dixon, fly ball to right, 1 out. Nick Castellanos was on second. Keyword was. He forgot how many outs there were. Not a great look when you're down 11-1 in the 6th inning. Tigers fall to Minnesota 12-2. Rain, the story in Brooklyn. The Firekeepers Casino 400 postponed until tomorrow. The race at MIS got as far as the national anthem after an hour delay, but the track too wet, so they will resume things tomorrow, 5 p.m. on the green flag. Joey Logano on the pole. North of the border, there was everybody else today at the RBC Canadian Open. And then there was that guy, Rory McIlroy. Don't call it a red shirt, apparently. The Northern Irishman, casual 61 on the final day at the Hamilton Golf and Country Club. 9 birdies and an eagle. That's good enough for a year for most of us. And a few bogeys, that's good for a 9-under par round, and McIlroy's first win since the Players' Championship. Now the fun part, PGA Tour going to Pebble Beach this weekend. It is the U.S. Open, and it's Dose for Rafael Nadal, a winner at the French Open, his 12th victory at Roland Garros. That is the most of any individual Grand Slam in the history of tennis. The King of Clay, Royal again, -1 bad set. He handled Dominic Thiem with ease. The 33-year-old, now 93-2 career at the French. Win today marked his 3rd straight championship at the event, and the 3rd time he's won at least 3 in a row at the events. The King of Clay says it all. The Boston Bruins have forced Game 7 in the Stanley Cup Finals. They beat the Blues 5-1 in Game 6. So Game 7 in the Stanley Cup Finals, it does not get much better than that.
Yeah, no, well, let's go Blues.
Well, sure.
All right, we're back with the last look at weather after the break.
At Culver's, we never tire of...
Yeah, I didn't either, now that you say that.
Well, we're going to see some showers tomorrow morning at the bus stop. For a lot of kids, it's the last Monday of the school year. Can you believe it? Showers, sweater cool